right. Welcome once again to another episode of Sports Therapy. I am your host, FH Jr., and this is season 3, game number 15. Woo! Woo, woo, woo. Also, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, or whatever. Because some people don't like to use the word Merry Christmas anymore. So, you know what? Whatever it is that makes you feel good this time of the year, happy holiday or Merry Christmas, man. It is what it is. A little bit about the show for the rule breakers. Once again, we have to always go over the rules for the rule breakers. Sports therapy is sports entertainment only. Man, we don't talk race relations. We don't talk politics. Man, I don't give a fat rat's butt what the Democrats are doing, nor do I care what the Republicans are doing. I am always, always, always wearing the standard uniform. Sometimes the standard uniform may change from week to week, but normally this is the standard uniform, augmented by the official NFL hat. And let you know I am neutral, just like Switzerland. Sports Therapy will. Our sponsor is always Crown Royal, where we drink Crown Royal responsibly. Yes, we do. I believe I got that down. Oh, one thing about it though, Sports Therapy is streamed live on Facebook and YouTube, and we will be coming to you live stream on Instagram starting Christmas Eve. That is next Sunday. Yeah, buddy. And the number to call if you want to be a live guest is always 940-329-4110. That is 940-329-4110. We have a lot to discuss. Oh, Cowboy Nation, my Commanders lost, getting a new coach. Coach getting his head lopped off. Saints won. How about that? Even the poor Carolina Panthers, man, managed to beat somebody. Boy, it is the holiday season. And we always start the show off by talking about the scores. That's a joke, really, because I always say, hey, we're going to talk about some scores, and then something happens. And then I end up driving the Jeep off the cliff once again, and we don't talk scores. So we usually do our scores in a, what I call drive-by talking about scores. But before I begin, I want to acknowledge some of our high school football teams in the local area, starting with the Duncanville Panthers. Congratulations on winning the state championship, along with the DeSoto Eagles, two-time champions, both high schools. And want to say a big congratulations to my old high school, South Oak Cliff, the Golden Bears. Bears came up short, but I can tell you I watched the game. It was highly controversial. I believe that referees should not ever make a call that's going to decide the game. Now, you go figure on that one. But let's talk NFL. I know I'm going to hear from my homeboy Glenn today, because I know he's going to be just got the cussing bell waiting just for him, just to make sure it works. Because I know he's going to be talking more stuff about the poor Cowboys along with the loss of his Steelers. But as we move up and down and we get closer to the playoffs, talk about the playoffs. Things are starting to filter out and shake down a little bit. We're starting to see which team are contenders and which teams are pretenders. And you never know now. There's a lot of teams that claim to be number one, but it is what it is. But you know what? Fans don't want to listen to me. They want to listen to callers. So let's take a call. Sports
What's
Therapy with
going on, my
FH
brother?
Jr. Sports Therapy. My
What's happening, my
homeboy
brother?
Glenn. Oh, my homeboy Glenn. Homeboy Glenn. Two things I want to start off with.
What's happening?
I want to start off by talking about them their Steelers, and then I'll give you a chance to roast roast the good Cowboy. So, Steeler Nation. Man, I will tell you this. I am worried about the Steelers, and I know you are too, because you guys have lost like 4 games in a row. And believe it or not, Mitchell Trubisky is what he is. But, man, I'm most concerned about the defense. You guys played yesterday on Saturday. Yeah, we had some NFL on Saturday. So, in your words, my brethren, what is going on with the Steeler Nation?
The defense is the offense. That's all they got is the defense. The mule get tired. Hell, they might well put J.J. Watt at quarterback. So we don't have no quarterback. Still ain't got but one 400-yard total offensive game.
That is true. That
And
was
that's
that was just one particular play, man. That it looked like you guys were going to make a run to try to get back into the game. At least had a chance to tie it up. And Mitchell Trubisky, he just threw a. I mean, that's never the right time to throw an interception. But then that's just one time when you throw an interception that make everybody say, "Man, what the hell are you doing?" And that was one of those days, man. What the hell?
man, we don't have no quarterback whatsoever, man. We don't even have a backup quarterback. I mean, damn, they've been having them guys for 2 years. Man, it's time to move on from the quarterback.
Well, see,
And I don't understand Mike Tomlin. I don't understand his philosophy on some things neither, man.
I agree, and I agree with everything you're saying because if my man is so terrible that you got to play Mitchell Trubisky in front of him, why do we have Mason Rudolph? And
That's what I'm talking about, man.
you should have a man just sitting there collecting money for 2 or 3 years, and you know he can't play. You saying, well, hell, I can't put him in because he ain't played in a while. Well, what the hell is he doing in practice?
That's what I'm saying. You know, he been with the team about the last 3 or 4, maybe 5 years.
It's about 5 years.
Yeah, and all that time you still hadn't got anything out of him. That's just called stealing, man. That's what you call. That's what you call stealing.
Is it stealing?
I'm mad. I'm so mad at the Steelers right now. I've lost the word.
And the thing about
because we could have been in good shape right now.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
And we had a 13-0 lead on the Colts, and they come back to score 30 unanswered points.
You know, I'm watching the beginning of that game, and I was thinking about you. I said, boy, homeboy Glenn skinning and grinning right now, boy, because them Steelers are coming out balling. And next thing I know, oh, man, I don't know. The Colts got on the roll. And, hell, they ain't really got no starting quarterback themselves. Well, I mean, they still got, what's my man with the mustache? Minshew.
Yeah.
Gardner.
Yeah, but anything, we got the worst quarterbacks in football in the NFL. We got the worst quarterbacks. Pittsburgh had the worst quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. If they got to go out and get a quarterback during the draft.
But I will tell you this, homeboy Glenn. Y'all defense did not look like a typical Steeler defense, and that was before, even with the quarterback playing crappy. Man, they were just running the ball at the defense, and man, it just did not look like a typical Steeler defense.
They're getting old, injuries, and they're getting old, and they just don't. They're getting up in age, man. Cam Hayward, even J.J. Watt, these last year or two, few years he's been injured. You know, it's taking a toll on them at the end of the season, though. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised about another year or two. Just me saying it.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin acts like he don't want to be there no more sometimes.
Well, see, I think sometimes, and we talked about this last week, man. Sometimes teams need to hear a new voice. I don't know, this thing where sometimes they say, well, hell, he's a player's coach. And, because, today's athletes are not the same. You can't really grind on them too much. You can't hold them accountable too much. You can't yell at them. You can't, you just can't. Players are made different. But at the end of the day, I still need to see a little fire. I need to see a little fire from the coach every once in a while. I don't see no fire coming from Mike Tomlin. None.
sitting up there thinking he half-ass pretty, ain't coaching worth a damn. Ain't coaching worth a damn, man. Hey, man, if right is right and wrong is wrong. Man, for the last few years, I just don't see Mike Tomlin and everybody out about he's a hell of a coach, good coach. I'm not taking nothing from him because he's a Super Bowl winning coach. These last few years, man, it's just like because he kept that offensive coordinator around too long, and he kept Big Ben around too long. Big Ben want to get on there and talk about the Steelers way and say, hell, he part of the problem.
Yeah, he was.
Kept his old ass there.
Yeah. Because
hell, he about to the point to make me didn't like the Steelers no more because his ass was sitting around there like he was going to try to play till he get a crutch or something.
Big Ben got to where he couldn't even throw the ball 5 yards. Hell, I like Big Ben. You might as well just
5 yards.
You might as well just walk out there.
Big sorry ass, and then gonna have enough nerve to criticize somebody.
I like Big Ben. You might as well just walk out there handing the ball.
Hell yeah, you might as well. Hell, he did half the time.
Because he
knew he could throw.
He couldn't throw it. He couldn't throw it past 5 yards. And yeah, and defense knew it. They started playing the Steelers totally different, man. He just, and it was hard to get him down now. I know.
Yeah. The shit he goes and hell he was fumbling. He was fumbling the ball, but he want to criticize. Right now we're a wounded organization, man. I got a friend lady going to the game Saturday night. Work with me. She going to watch him play Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
And she told me she gonna bring a terrible towel back. Hell, I might take that some of his unit for some toilet paper.
Man, don't wipe your butt on a terrible towel,
man. Make toilet paper out there shit.
Man, don't wipe your butt. Don't wipe your butt on a terrible towel, man.
I might use that motherfucker. You wipe my, you know what?
Hey man, like Charles Barkley say, man, that's horrible. That's horrible.
I'm sorry.
That's horrible.
I don't want to burn it up. I only want to wipe my ass.
Hey man, the Carolina Panthers won a game. How do you feel if you lose to the Carolina Panthers, man? Now remember, me and you went back and forth, my brother, and you said this, that you had high hopes for the Atlanta Falcons. Now Atlanta they were in control of their own. They're in control of their own season. How the hell you lose to the Panthers, man? 9-7. 9-7.
That's what you get for playing in them damn dorms. and they can't play in the rain.
9-7, my brother.
Can't go. It's ridiculous, man. And they got talent over there too, man.
Oh no, that's what got me.
Man, I've been having a time. Yeah, they got talent in Atlanta, man. That's what gets me about Atlanta. They have talent, but when it comes time, just like the Chargers is a talented team over there. Now, but if something ain't right, I don't know if it's the coaching or what it is.
Let's back up. Let's back up to Thursday night with the Chargers, man. I started my week off, and I always tell the fans, man, is that we always talk about scores, and I always end up driving the Jeep off the cliff, and we never talk about scores. So let's talk about Thursday night, man. We had the Raiders against the Chargers. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, homeboy Glenn. I decided that I was not going to watch that game because I figured, man, hell, I don't want to watch the Raiders and the Chargers. I figured it wasn't going to be worth watching. I said, I got to watch it for the show. So I said, I'm going to glance and just kind of look at it, man. And, man, I fooled around and got up and went to the refrigerator. I came back, man. They were up 21-0. I'm like, what the hell going on here? And the next thing.
And here last week, they could score a point.
Yes. Yes. And then finally at halftime, man, those fools had almost 40 points at halftime. I was like,
they did have 40.
I was like,
they had 42 points.
42 points. And I'm like, man, what the hell going on with this? So, make a long story short, man, all hell broke loose the next day because the Chargers fired their coach, fired the GM, the owner fired everybody. And I guess that's what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do, man. When you got, but you know what? Let me back up. Um, the Chargers, to me, I just think they did the other coach wrong when they just canned him, and they
The
got
Lynn,
yeah. Then they end up getting this other guy. And hell,
yeah, they did.
he
They did do that guy wrong, man.
yeah, yeah. You know, because he was
Yeah, that guy had that team going in the right direction. Them
yeah,
guys were playing hard for him.
and they were young. They were young, but they were buying into his system.
What he was doing.
Yeah, but next thing I know, they canned him. And then everybody thought, okay, the new coach they got, it's gonna be better. Man, they gave that fool 3 years. What he won, like lasted half of his game. But to get your doors blew off on Thursday night in front of the whole country, I was like, man, yeah. So that's
Well, but you got to think about this here, man. Think about the Bears.
oh yeah,
They fired Lovett Smith. They fired Lovett Smith when he was. See how long that been ago.
yeah he went
They
to
fired him when he was 10-6,
yeah man had a
and he winning 9 or 10 games every year.
man had a winning
And hell, they fired him and look how many games they ain't won. Hell, they ain't won the 10 games. They let's see, he been gone now for about pretty close to almost 7, 8, maybe 10 years
yeah yeah
from Chicago.
yep yeah
And Chicago ain't did shit since he left.
they fired the man after he won 10 games. Like, man,
Where after he won the Super Bowl and went to the playoffs.
yes. I was like, man, oh man, oh man. And of course, you know, San Francisco did their usual. They beat the crap out of Arizona. Arizona, now, me, I got to ask you this question. I think Arizona would be crazy if they let Tyler Murray go because their problem ain't the quarterback. Ain't the quarterback. I just think they got a pretty good little team, man. If they build around him and get him to start watching getting this playbook. You know, I'm being funny, but he seems to be that time when he got injured. He's playing a lot better. I think he just realized in the NFL, everybody is an athlete. You can't just roll out of bed and just think, hey, I'm finna go and beat people pure on my athletic ability. I got to get in my book and
Uh,
study. So I think he's doing that. So I think it'd be crazy for them to get rid of him because I can tell you there's a lot of teams that he would fit really good with if they had him.
Pittsburgh won up.
Yes, Pittsburgh one up. You know,
Hey,
shoot,
I tell you, I wish Pittsburgh could get though. You know
Fields,
who I would want Pittsburgh to get?
Fields,
Huh?
Fields.
Bill.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
and
I
and,
want, I want Justin Fields.
and see that's a segue into that conversation. Even though I was watching that game today, and man, I don't even know what to say about that, man. The Bears had control of that game all through the entire game. The Bears had control. I like, man, these fools gonna win. And next thing you know, next thing you know, man, next thing you know, um, Fields. Now he threw 2 interceptions today, but that was a typical Chicago Bear, Cleveland Brown type football game. You know, just hard nosed or whatever. It looked like they were gonna take control from the beginning, and somehow, man, um, Cleveland rallied, got a little something going on in the fourth quarter, and they pulled it out. But Fields, and they're still talking about should they go another direction? Have they seen enough of Fields to say he is our franchise quarterback, or we gonna go another direction? What do you think about that?
That's a tough question, man. That's a tough question. That's tough, man. Because, but they're more likely they gonna go on and keep him though.
I don't know. I don't. I don't know about that. I now personally, me, I would think that if they're gonna build their team, they should go ahead and keep him because your fans are not gonna take 2 years. You know, if you got a young quarterback and you can him, you didn't stick with him long enough. Then you got to, and if you get a one of these rookies, because you know they're gonna have to go through their period of just playing and getting adjusted to the NFL, and so the fan base usually don't go for just 2 years of all that back to back, man. So I think if they got rid of him,
Yeah.
all hell gonna break loose because hell, you still got him basically on a rookie contract. You can build a team. You can go get some key players at
Yeah.
key positions. So I think it would be stupid to
Gonna
get
get a
rid of.
guy like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes, get him some
Gonna
toys.
draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
Get him a line.
Yeah,
Get him a
yeah,
line.
get him an offensive line. Gonna get him a big guard.
Yes.
Gonna give him a big guard and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, and that way he won't have to
Traded for Kenny Pickett.
play.
Traded for Kenny Pickett.
And then we.
And I know I don't know how long I got on the show. Can I just say one thing?
Hey man, hold on. We go get there because I know you just can't wait to talk about them Cowboys. Give me about let me roll through these scores first, man. Tampa Bay, they took care of Green Bay. Green Bay looks. I can't put my finger on them. 1 minute they look like hell. They like the arrows headed up. Next minute they looking like crap. Now we had I call this the Oilers. The old Oilers were playing the new Oilers today because we had Houston was playing Tennessee. That looked like they went into overtime. That game was 16-16, and then finally the Titans made like an interception, ran it down to about the 1 or 2, then managed to kick a field goal. They pulled that out, and then the Jets, I don't know what to say about the Jets. 1 week they putting up 30 points. Next week they getting beat by 30 points. So what say ye on that? Then we had the Saints took care of New York. I should have made Jay and Grand Prairie happy about that, along with all the Who Dat Nation. Then finally, my Commanders, you know what? Now we got quarterback controversy. Now, Jacoby Brissett came in through 2 touchdowns in less than 5 minutes to bring us within 1 touchdown for tying the game up. I don't know how that's going to end up. Hey, but the good news is, homeboy Glenn, we are officially firing. We are officially firing our coach, man. So that's official. That's family. Yeah. That's family business.
It should have been gone last year.
And I'm not going to lie. Everybody talking about making now. Eric Bieniemy don't need to be head coach either, man. Because first of all, before you get a promotion to head coach, you got to prove that. Why should we give you that position to be head coach when you can't even get it done as the? I mean, come on, man. Today we got 7 points all the way up until the 4th quarter. Come on. No sir. No sir. No
I
sir.
just still don't understand how they got Les Sweat and the other boy from Ohio State walk away like that with a front line like y'all had.
Chase Young, Sweat. Man, now we can talk about what you want to talk about. Them there Cowboys.
Boy, look here, let me tell you something. I'm so damn, my spirit been down since Thursday night. But boy, they lift my spirit today watching them getting that ass whooped today. I just hated the snow on their ass. I wish they had got 10 inches of snow on their ass. I wish they had buried them in snow out there. But they still got that ass toe up though. Soon when they win, they beat up on the little poor players, and they go to all the Super Bowl contenders. Soon when you run up on somebody big and physical, they ain't ready. I keep telling folks that it's an accident waiting to happen. Folks walk around here with them damn Cowboy jerseys on, looking like a bunch of damn crooks. Motherfuckers ain't ready, man. They ain't ready. They ain't ready. Hey, I could call 4 or 5 Cowboy fans tonight.
They ain't gonna answer.
Ain't none of them gonna answer their phone. No, they ain't gonna answer their phone. Looking like they ready to sing another sad little song.
But watching the game, and it went exactly how I say when it comes to the Cowboys. Now, let me quantify this to all my listeners. I always say, at the end of the day, I cheer for all the teams in our division to lose. But I got to change it now. I got to cheer for the Eagles. Let me tell you why, homeboy Glenn. I got a bet. I got a bet with some of the people that I work with and the kids at my job. Like I tell people, I am really truly a counselor. Even though the name of this show is Sports Therapy, I am really truly a counselor. But I got to bet that if the Cowboys get to the Super Bowl, if they get to the Super Bowl, man, I have to shave my head. So for the listeners who think I don't have hair, I'm gonna remove my hat to show I do have hair. Now I just got a haircut this weekend. So hold on now. So I had to be able to show the listeners that I do have hair. But man, we can't let them Cowboys get to that Super Bowl, dog.
Man, you don't have nothing to worry about. Your hair gonna be long as Snoop Dogg about 30 words. Some bitch ain't going nowhere. Right back over there to what go bad ass right back over there to Oak Cliff downtown somewhere. You ain't gotta worry about that, partner. 49ers, Eagles, Detroit. Let me see who else over there in the NFC East. Hell, they can't beat the Vikings. They can't beat the Vikings. So you don't have to worry about that. Man, but I will say this here. They're a good team. They really like a bullet. When they see you weak, they'll jump all on you. But if you hit them back, they're going to fold up.
You know what? What I tell people, I said the book on the Cowboys is that they have a small little defense. And
that's right.
If you go out and you play physical with them, just even though you may be behind, even if you're behind a touchdown, if you keep playing just physical with the Cowboys and run that ball, you will have an impact on them because they will wear down, and you can just from there you can impose your will. Three teams did it. Really, 4 teams did it. The Eagles did it in the first game. The Cardinals did it. The 49ers did it, and the Bills did it today. We were doing it when we played them. Only problem is Eric is such an idiot that he would not stick to the running game. If you go back and look at the time of possession, we had time of possession on the Cowboys except for them fumbles that we did. But the blueprint on the Cowboys, if you just play physical with them, and you can impose your will. And now they need to have home field advantage to be competitive because they get some home cooking at home, man. I was like, come on, man. But
today, referee. Hey, I want to get one playoff game at home this year because I want to repeat of last year when they lost to the 49ers at home. And they showed a big stream of the fans around the stadium. They showed the fans around the stadium when they were counting down. The clock would count down to 0.
Yeah. And the 49ers don't care where they play you at, man. They do not care where they play you
at.
That's
why I want to see them. I want to see them play again in Dallas. And they were showing the Cowboys fans on First Take, Stephen A. Smith show, and they showed all of them on the screen crying. I still get a kick out of watching it. Sometimes when I'm bored, they got nothing to do.
Well, I know if they can, because I know they're going to the playoffs, but I don't want them to have total home field advantage. I can't have that hell. I might end up getting a haircut.
Yeah, they ain't going. It doesn't matter. It's an accident right now. And I want your audience to know, I don't dislike the Cowboys that bad, like make it seem. I'm just a true Cowboy hater. Can't stand them up. True to the fucking core like the Eagles, baby.
Well, I tell you what, though, brother. It's going to be a sad day when I roll up and work in the morning, man. It's gonna be.
You gonna mess around and have dreads by February talking about cutting your hair. You ain't gotta worry about no haircut.
Yeah, but now it look like the hair's safe, dog. What you say, man?
Yeah, your hair's safe.
What you say, man? My hair be longer than Snoop Dogg's.
Yeah, your hair be longer than Snoop Dogg's. This shit gonna be long as hell. You be wearing 2 glasses. They gonna be little kids gonna be looking at you like you gonna wear 2 big flats going to school. 2 big braids.
Yeah, brother, it is all good. Well, my homeboy Glenn, I'm gonna let you go, brother. It's nice talking to you, man. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Yes, sir. Love you, brother. Look here. Tell all them Cowboy haters it's going down next week, too. They going to get their ass whooped next week. Love you, brother.
All right, man. Love you too, man. Keep hope alive.
All right.
Voice therapy.
What's up, FH Junior? Ravens extraordinaire Brandon Cooper. What's up, my man?
What say ye, Brandon? I know,
Hey, man,
I know you're watching the
what's up,
game.
man? Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the game. I stepped outside for a little bit to answer the phone. You know, we had a good first drive. They kept trying to throw to Calvin Ridley. We got that on lock. It's good to see Hamilton out there. We putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So here we go. But I want to warn everybody out there, Ravens games are ugly. So it may look like we losing at some point, but we going to win.
Hey, man, what you putting? You putting a warning out there?
Hey, you gotta have a disclaimer.
Yeah, I see, man. You said watch this game may be bad for your health.
Exactly, but hey, hold on. What about that 28-20 score though?
Man, look, two things about that. I can guarantee you, man, our coach is saying, boy, I should have started oh boy at the beginning of the year. I still have my job. But everybody, hell, it was just set for Sam to start. But I look at it this way. We gonna have quarterback controversy, but I wouldn't this year. I wouldn't roll Jacoby out there because there's no sense in getting him hurt. But I tell you what, next year, I would declare that position is open. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't need.
Bro, wait. I do just want to find. I want everybody to go back in the archives with these episodes from the beginning of the season when you did in fact say that Sam Howell could be your quarterback for the future.
Yes. Yeah.
So what has changed between then and week 14?
Well, for me, I still say he's the quarterback of the future. But I would also say that with Jacoby, just looking at him because he don't really need a offensive line. He don't need all the other things for him to be successful. He can play just on straight up experience. I can see it today. You can see the difference between an experienced quarterback and a guy who has more upside. But right now, he just, you know what I'm saying? He needs to have a good offensive line. He needs time because he holds on to the ball a little bit too long. When he throws, he don't know how to throw guys quite open the way Jacoby was doing today. Because, I mean, McLaurin and those boys were turning around, and that ball was right there. Boom. Sometimes they would be open. And because of Sam is running for his life, he don't know how to bring his heart rate down. You know, he don't know how to bring his heart rate down and make a good pass. Yeah, his deal is, man, I'm running in. Next thing I know, guy's open and you overthrowing him. And that comes with experience. But if I was but then again, if you go into the game, I think everything was set up the way it was based on how Sam Howell played last year, and everybody's like, look, man, we got to have a veteran we got to have a quarterback in place and whatever. I still have to drop some of that at the foot of Eric Bieniemy because everybody's saying, hey, it's official. They're firing the coach. Is Eric gonna be? Nah, because to me, you cannot go from not. Why would we promote you to head coach? Why would we promote you to head coach when you haven't dominated in your position as offensive coordinator? Play selection is still crazy. You had not learned how to build your offense around this inexperienced quarterback, although he has potential. But Eric, don't go out there and let this guy throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, man. Come on.
It's really getting ugly because, like I'm trying to say, he think he back in the Midwest.
Well,
Just throwing that out there.
well, I mean, I've always said that he's cut out of the Andy Reid's tree, man, and because Andy was throwing the ball when he was with the Eagles. He wasn't in this. Andy took the same offense with the Eagles that he took to Kansas City with the Chiefs, and so Eric is cut out that same tree. So for him, that's all he know. He's not gonna change. That's Eric Bieniemy. That is his. If he was coach, whoever he brings in as offensive coordinator, it'd probably be hard for him to give up the whistle. It'd be hard for him to give up the whistle as OC because he would still try to implement the same pass happy offense and it doesn't work. My thing of it is there are parts of it that I like. I just don't like the fact that you're throwing the ball 75% of the time and running the ball 25% of the time. I could be almost happy with something like, I don't know, 55-45. You throwing it 55% and you running 45% of the time. I could be okay with that. It's just, man. Don't even get me started.
It was so many high hopes for y'all at the beginning of the season, but as we can see, none of that came to fruition.
No, that's why we're cleaning house. Cleaning house. We are clean.
Man, y'all need help, man.
We clean up.
But now, like I said, I want everybody to go back and check those earlier episodes.
Now
I don't want them to pull the tape.
But I still say Sam is good enough to be a franchise quarterback. But if you got to get him offensive line, you need a different offensive scheme. Because you need a different offensive scheme. You cannot. If you're gonna drop back and let him throw that ball that much, then you don't need the kind of running backs that we got. You might as well have just, give him the little scat back running back that could be another wide receiver type of running back, somebody be more of a slot back type runner, because having those power backs that we got, that's a waste of time. You're not utilizing them. Not in that scheme.
So do y'all still, in that top 5 draft, do y'all still go for that offensive tackle?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you, our fan base is not going to stand for, man, they'll storm the castle. If we go back and get a rookie quarterback and have to go through all this crap again, come on, man. Fan stands for what? Fanatics. Dude, they will storm the castle. Nah. The fans would have been happy if we had probably been just a power run team, low scoring, 17, 20 points a game. We would have won more games because the defense wouldn't have been out there and exposed. Man, that was just one play. The receiver came up front, and it wasn't a pick altogether. It was just a scheme where the guy ran, and then they crossed, and then he went deep, and the cornerback, the receiver that split out wide, the cornerback, he ran inside. So the cornerback went with him inside. Now everybody knows if he's coming inside, the safety's gonna take him. And the other guy who was in the slot, he came across the other guy's face and went down the sideline. Brandon, that brother was, when I tell you he was 45 yards open by himself, everybody like, dude, what the hell? The cornerback just let him go.
Look,
just let him go.
It's tough out here. We understand. But see, look, also Baltimore's in a 4th and 21. Insane. But definitely got to kick that field goal. Let's just score that. But looking, at the NFL today, Cowboys got humbled today.
Oh boy, did they?
But I also want to say this: the Chargers should have fired that whole coaching staff at halftime.
You should or shouldn't have?
They should, because it was 42-0 at halftime.
Yes. Hey, Brandon, I was talking to my homeboy Glenn, and I told him, I said, man, I didn't even think that game was gonna be worth watching, but I said I need to watch it because I got to be able to talk about it on the show. Man, I went to the freezer, man. I came back, man. It was 21-0. I'm like, what the hell happened? and then at halftime, it was 4. They had 40 points. You right. I'm the owner. I fire everybody. Hell, I come out there and stand on the sideline and coach the team myself. Hell, I couldn't have did a worse job than what was going on.
And it done worse.
Good. No. I could have put any of the position guys in charge. Hey, what you do? What I pay you to be? Oh, I'm the I'm the receiver coach. Well, hell, right now you gonna coach this game. Get him because you can't do the worst. Woo. Hey, but
that just didn't make any sense because it gets to a point where now you're just uncompetitive, and we know what you all are trying to do. Quit doing this just to send a message. You need to punish teams for tanking.
But why are they tanking? Because what are they trying to get? You got a receiver, you got running back, you got an offensive line. What the hell are they tanking for?
I mean, the best possible draft pick you can get at their slot is Brock Bowers. I mean, the tight end out of Georgia. But I mean, you having teams put up 63 on you just to pick him. Like, I don't know what the message was. I think the message was we just want this head coach out of here. I just don't understand.
Was it a situation where the players laid down?
It might have, because I don't think I've seen a game more uncompetitive in the National Football League.
And you can't fire. You can't fire the players for. And I think I probably would have accepted it better if they had gotten beaten by the 49ers or one of the juggernaut type teams with a juggernaut offense. 49ers, Bills, Dolphins, those teams that can just put numbers up, video game type numbers. But you got blew out by the Raiders. This is a team that barely scored the previous week. or did they score?
And it's two teams going at it, and neither one of them teams is trying to win right now because they want a draft pick.
I'm like, what the hell?
And that's what we are.
What the hell are we watching? What the hell are we watching?
But like at that point, it's just insane. But I will say this, man. We got to say that the AFC North is the best division in football.
Oh, yes. No doubt.
Because, yesterday, but we had all our teams over 500. Now, the crazy part about us is we got the Jags tonight. We got the Niners on Christmas Day.
Ooh.
Then we got the Dolphins. Then we got the Steelers, man.
See, now, only problem I'm concerned, only concern I was telling my last call, I said, hey, man, I've got this bet. That if the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl, man, I got to shave my head. Now, my only problem is I'm so concerned that the team that you mentioned are going to beat each other up to the point to where somebody majorly get injured, and which opens the door for them dreaded Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl. And then I have to sit here and talk to you with my head peeled like a lemon. Other than that,
baldy, and it is possible.
Dude, because look, y'all got to play. You all have to play Miami. You all have to play. I think you guys are playing
the Niners.
Yes, and everybody, and man.
That's Christmas.
To me, that's the Super Bowl game right there.
Yeah, that's the Christmas night, man. We got the Niners because that's a Monday Night Football game.
And that's the Super Bowl right there. Or is any particular team gonna say, you know what, we ain't gonna really just put it all out there because we don't want to get anybody hurt. We know what we are. It's not gonna affect us in where we are. Or is everybody still playing for first place throughout the playoffs? Because you guys pretty much, even though the AFC is the toughest division, but you all basically got that wrapped up, man. Because the Steelers, The Steelers have lost what 4 in a row.
But here's the thing about the Steelers, though. They always play us tough.
They do,
They
but
always play us tough,
they,
man.
they they do. But I'm saying they play you guys tough, but they barely hanging on. Cleveland, you know what you gonna get out of them because they barely they were getting their butt handed to them by the Bears today, and you know, just saying.
Now, the thing about Cleveland is one hell of a comeback from Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco played a good game down the stretch. Definitely, he had 3 interceptions, but he came alive down the stretch, and he won him that game.
Yeah, but he's still 110 years old. he's still
Yeah, flex, baby.
he's still 110 years old. But man, you know, like I said, that AFC is tough. Is tough. The only team that I think if they stay healthy, they're in a good position to make a good deep run, and that's the Dolphins. If they can stay healthy, because I think they got the Cowboys next week. Then they got you guys, and like I said, each one of those teams could lose somebody. And just like if you take Tyreek Hill off of the Dolphins, they're not the Dolphins. Okay?
Right.
If you take Debo Samuels off the 49ers, they're not the 49ers. They're not the big bad 49ers. Okay? There's certain players, if you remove from a team, it affects them. You know? Now you guys are missing a tight end. But only thing I think about the Ravens is that Ravens are the only team that if it came down to it, one man could be a LeBron or a Michael Jordan and beat you by himself if it come down to it. And that's the secret weapon y'all got in Lamar Jackson. Lamar's the only cat that if it come down to it, if it's in the fourth quarter and we down by 7 or 10, he's the only dude that can pretty much beat a team by himself. Nobody else has. Nobody else has that kind of player.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, no matter what you say about Lamar, he's a competitor, and this man will do anything to win a game.
Yeah, and the only problem you have to kind of control that because if it's up to him, he'll go out and try to do that 17 games at the 17 games at the season and get hurt.
Now we got to control him though and contain him. But at the end of the day, that man's a baller.
Yeah, and so like I said, you guys are the only team that when you come to the playoff, but you would need him to play a game like that when you're in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? When you in the Super Bowl,
at that point, it's balls to the wall. At that point,
when you in the Super Bowl, you need that brother has to just let it all ride because there's no guarantee that you're gonna get back in your NFL career. When you get to the Super Bowl, it's like, look, dude, we know we told you get down and slide or whatever. Hey, dog, you got to go get your ring, and that's what you do. That's what you do.
Hey, that's the hardest thing. But like I said, man, Lamar Jackson, if we finish first in the AFC, Lamar winning that MVP, man.
Yeah, but like I said, as long as they can protect him from himself on the way to the Super Bowl, I think good things will happen from the Ravens. Because to me, I think the two teams that's going to be in the Super Bowl, barring everything remains the same, will be the Ravens and the 49ers.
And it's tough because the 49ers, they really just kind of don't have a weakness.
In the 49ers, except for they play so physical to where they hurt themselves trying to hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They'll kill themselves trying to kill you. And so they'll end up going into the playoff with about 4 or 5 key players out. Like, come on, dude. You know, but that's how they play. That is how they play. And like I said, they exposed the Cowboys as they exposed the Cowboys' weakness, which is You got to get them into hand-to-hand combat. If you get the Cowboys down to just hand-to-hand combat, you can beat them. None that
Because as we saw with the Bills, man, all you got to do is run that ball.
run that ball. Even though it may not be paying off in the first quarter, you have to stick with running that ball, and that's something that we couldn't do against them. That's something the Eagles didn't do against them. You have to keep running that ball. You have to get the Arizona did it. They kept running that ball. We're gonna run this ball, and eventually, I mean, it is what it is. You saw what happened. If you saw the game, they just could not hold up. They got a smaller defense. Now, now they get the lead, and they are and then they are in attack mode. And man, you got trouble. Man, you got trouble. If they ever get the lead, and they are just coming off those edges, and they sending everybody, and all that Cowboy Nation going crazy, dude. When it damn breaks, you in trouble. But when you get them down and just hand to hand combat, it's just something about the physical nature of the game that they just seem to not have enough fight.
It's tough out here, man. But it boils down to those trenches and can you get it
Yes.
done? And especially this time of year, man, when the weather is just terrible, especially them in Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo's running that ball.
Yes. And man, it's
Right
almost
down on your mouthpiece, son. That's what Coach used to say. It'll
man
be a long day.
to me, and I wasn't on that field, but I just think it was a couple of those Cowboy players that just did not want no part of that weather. They didn't want no part of that rain. They didn't want no part of. They just didn't want any part of that because guess what, bro?
They ain't want to go out.
We've been playing in that
They ain't
cushion.
want to play today, Coach.
We've been
They ain't want
playing.
to play today.
We've been playing in that cushiony Jerry world where we got art to look at, we got music, we got all this stuff, man, and all of a sudden, nah, coach, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that because they kept running through Dallas's offensive line, man. They were just having a meeting at Dak. Hey, meet
And
you
the
at Dak.
the crazy thing is the Dallas Cowboys tried to address the defensive line and running in the first round of the draft, and they drafted a defensive tackle.
They did. And then they picked up one who, and I told somebody last week, I said, hey, man, and it maybe one of the brothers I was talking to at work, deep, a Cowboy fan, I said, hey, man, you guys had better take a look at that nose guard that you guys lost last week that went out for injury because I said, I noticed when he went out, although y'all won, that team started running the ball down Dallas's throat, man. It's like, but they had such a big lead to where it didn't carry over, but it carried over to today because, man, they could not stop the run with a gun.
Life's tough out here, man.
Hey, man, I tell you what, though, boy, y'all in for a fight. Y'all in
Look,
for
didn't I tell you? I told you.
yeah.
It might not look like
You put out
we gonna win the game.
you put out the disclaimer.
Hey, man, I put out an APB.
But those are the kind of games that you take into the playoffs. Because if you play those type of games, especially if you come out on the winning side of those games, then you kind of know that's not new territory for you. You know what to expect,
Facts.
you know. And it's like, hey, we've been there before, so we know how to get it done. And like you said, hey, you guys went ugly. You guys went ugly. So, but yeah, brother, they kind of made it official, which what we all knew. We getting a new coach. We gonna fire the coach at the end of the year. My thing of it is, if you know you're gonna fire the coach, and it's everybody's announcing it, you know, why keep that guy around? Because when the players know that you're not gonna be there as coach, they're not listening to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like the thing is, at that point, you have to remove them from the facility
Yes.
because it's just gonna get ugly.
Yes. Yes. From the fan standpoint to the players, even when they know Eric Bieniemy's not gonna be there anymore. Now, of course, at the end of the day, um, players should play for pride, and you should say, you know what, I'm playing to make sure, just in case I'm not here, I got some good film out there. You know, um, but the minute they made it official that he wasn't coming back, he's like, come on, you know, because it's just something about when you're rich. It's something about when you're rich and constantly going out and getting hit and whatever, when you realize, well, you know what, we're not going to the playoffs. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. So, man, I don't think I got it today. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have to make a lot of decisions with your team because, like I said, Giants got a little bit of momentum, and the other two teams, and the Cowboys and the Eagles already know what they're doing. Either you're gonna get with it or get rolled on.
Like I said, man, the only teams in our division that I really think that the arrow is pointing up, is all the way pointing up, are the Eagles because they're young. The Cowboys, like I tell people, man, the Cowboys, they're not a young team. This is the year that they have to win the Super Bowl because NFL minutia is going to take place. A lot of those guys, that offensive line is well past old. Some of those guys on the defensive side, they're all coming up, at least 5, 6, maybe 7 of them are coming up for contract negotiation. You can't sign everybody, except for Diggs. The other cornerback that they picked up, hell, he's like 31, 32. Father time, you can wake up tomorrow and you're old in the league. It just happens. So they're not this young team, and even Dak is not a spring chicken, but they're not this young team that okay, they're going to be back next year. Next year, we got to worry about them. It's the Eagles. Now, the Giants got a young team too. Their problem is that they don't have a quarterback, but they got some key pieces. Then they got to figure out what they're going to do with the running back position. But the Giants are just like us. They may be a little bit ahead. We may be ahead of them as far as quarterback, but some of the other key places, now their offensive line is kind of bad too. But seems to me that I don't worry about the Cowboys because, like I said, either they get it done this year or it's not going to happen. That window is closing for them. This is the year for them to get it done. For example, I truly believe if they get bounced out early, if they don't make a deep run into the playoff, hell, I can see them getting rid of the coach.
So question. The only thing they can do right now, they have to make it to the NFC Championship.
Like Cowboys? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's about the only thing I can see Cowboy Nation accepting. They're not going to accept, especially a first round out, or they're not even going to accept the second round out. They got to at least get pretty far, like you said, get to the end. If you get to the NFC Championship, okay, they can say, hey, you know what? We just, let's pick up some key players. Let's do a few things, and then we'll be able to maybe we'll be back next year for a chance to win it all. But Brandon, it is that time, my brother. You're about to hear the sound of my music. Hey, get a plug in for what you do, my man.
Yes, sir. This is Brandon Cooper, Ravens Extraordinaire. Follow my boys and I on our D1 Ignite University podcast. Hey, man, Ravens will be making a deep run in the playoffs. We up 3-0 in the first. Next week on Christmas night, we got the Niners.
All right. Thanks, my man.
Appreciate it, my brother.
All right, as we wrap it and cap it, this has been another episode of Sports Therapy with F.H. Jr. I'd like to thank all those, Brandon from D1 Ignite University. I'd like to thank my homeboy Glenn and all those in the great state of Arkansas, the country Kenny. I'd like to thank those in the Metroplex for helping us to be up. And I'd like to thank you for being my listener. And for those on the yard, like I always say, stay golden, baby. We'll see you next week.